My daughter jumped into a foam pit and completely disappeared. She leapt in for the third time and got submerged by the balls, but this time after 10 seconds, she still hadn't surfaced. I called out Casey, but after another 10 seconds, I jumped in. I chucked foam blocks out of my way as fast as I could while other parents looked on, but after tearing through the entire foam pit, I still couldn't find Casey. I gripped my head, shaking in fear. How could my daughter just disappear inside a foam pit? I called over workers and parents, and we dug through every foam block screaming Casey's name. A worker put his hand on my shoulder. "Are you sure your daughter jumped in?" I screamed yes, and he pulled up the footage. We watched Casey cannonball in and never come back up. It's like she traveled through a portal. I was shaking and crying, and when police arrived, they locked down the entire trampoline park. "We promise we'll find your daughter." My legs trembled as I thought back to Casey jumping in. The officers came out an hour later with their hats in their hands. "We're sorry, ma'am. Casey isn't inside." My world shattered. I got in my car and drove around through the night, but 2 days later, I was at home holding Casey's stuffed bear, looking at her missing persons report. Then my doorbell rang, and when I opened, the same worker from the trampoline park was looking at me with red eyes. I figured out what happened. He explained that he'd found a tiny slit cut into the net at the bottom of the foam pit. Underneath the pit was a crawl space with a service hatch that led out to the parking lot. He looked at me with shaking hands. "Someone was waiting down there, ma'am." When Casey jumped in, he reached up through the slit, pulled her down with him, and closed the patch with the Velcro strap. From above, the pit looked normal. I realized Casey didn't disappear. Someone kidnapped her and used the underneath area of a foam pit to do it.